Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in and being here today. This week patrons helped me vote on a topic that I'm excited about. We're going to do a campfire at the beach, and we're going to create a couple mountains here and an ocean, and then a sky and some sand right here, and then a fire right here, a campfire right there, and maybe some logs on the side. Let's get straight to it and go over the materials needed for today. We need some of these blending brushes. If you have one of these, that works fine too. You can clean it using the water, and then use a paper towel to dry it out. And I've done that in some of my other tutorials where I just use one and I show you how I do that. But over time I realized that using two is quicker and faster, since acrylics dry quicker, so it works better. But let's say you're using one and you clean the brush out, the paint, and then you lightly swirl and try to dry it out softly on the paper towel, and you can use it to blend in your second layer. And I'll show you how to use that. But so these, if you have them, or one is fine. Some of the artist's love brushes. This is a number 8 and a number 4 right here. And any 1/2 inch brush, flat brush, and any detail brush for the details. And I think that's it for the brushes. Very simple today. For paint, I like to use acrylics, and we need cadmium medium yellow, naphtha medium red, ultramarine blue, titanium white, and carbon black. As you can see, I like to use primary colors and just mix my own shades, and I think that's a lot of fun. I would encourage you to try to blend in your own shades and see what colors you get, and be confident in your colors, and create the pictures, the paintings that you would like to be created. So it's really up to you. You could totally experiment and buy different shades of green or orange that is already pre-mixed, and have fun with those as well. But it's also good to learn how to mix your own shades. So that's why I always use primary colors on my tutorials. Very simple. Try to make it very simple for you guys. Next, we need, of course, a palette knife to mix your paint, a jar of water, and of course some paper towels. And I like to use this, a hair blow dryer, for my first layers. If you have it, great. If you don't, no worries. You can just wait till the first layer is dry, take a break, and then continue. And I think that's it for the materials. Oh, and yes, and this is a 16 by 20 inch canvas. I bought it straight from Michael's as it is. It already has gesso, white gesso on it, so it's ready to go. You can put more layers if you'd like. I just, most of the time I just paint straight on. And I've had some people ask me if I use any mediums or anything added to my acrylics. I don't. I just use these acrylics like I showed you, just these acrylics and just some water. And I'll be showing you how I do that. But that's all I do. Like I said, I try to make it simple for you guys. But you could totally experiment if you'd like, and see what works best for you. And if you're interested in some of the paints and the brushes I use, check out the description down below. There will be a link to my website, and there I have those available for you guys. Okay, let's start mixing some paint. And so we're going to pick up our palette. And if you're wondering, I bought a bunch of sheets. They're paper palette sheets, and I just kind of taped it to my plastic palette here. You could totally use just a plastic palette and put the paint there, but it saves me time. After I'm done, I just kind of take it out and throw it away. So it's very easy that way, but that's why I have this masking tape and taped here. Okay, so let's pick up our titanium white, and our palette here, and let's create a couple shades, about 4. Okay, so let's add the white here, about this much, and then right about here, like this, and then a little more here, about the same, about the same amount on all of these. Okay, four shades right here, and we're going to add different color now. We're going to try to cover maybe a little more than half the canvas. So I'm trying to add and guess how much I need to cover, that amount. So let's pick up our yellow and put it right here. Very small amount, just a very small amount, you could see right there. And then one in here, about the same amount, like this. And that's it. Now let's pick up our red right here, and let's add it right next to this one. Just a very small amount, smaller than the yellow. I don't know if you could see that right there. And then let's go ahead and add a little bit here, just like that, very small amount, okay? Moving on, ultramarine blue. Let's add it with the red right here, just a small amount like this, and a small amount like this, right there. Okay, I'll make another shade, actually. So let's put a little bit of blue here, and this time I will add a little bit of black. So let's pick up our black. Just a little bit like this. Just a touch, okay? Right there. And then I'm going to actually add a little bit of titanium white to this black. Just a little bit, okay? So let's just add just a little bit like this. Right there. There you go. That's the shades that we have. I didn't use too much color, but more white you could see. So let's mix it and let's see what colors it gives us, and then we can add more of whatever color we need. So let's go ahead and pick up our palette knife and start with mixing the lightest shade, which is just white and yellow. And yours, it doesn't have to be exactly the same amount like you see on mine. If you added a little bit more yellow or more white, that's totally okay. It's yours will always, mine, yours, everyone that does these, goes over these tutorials, they'll always turn out in unique, different ways. And if I were to follow this tutorial in the future and try to recreate, I guarantee you that my painting will turn out differently than what I'm about to paint. Next, our second shade here, and that's the fun part. So this will give me like a pinkish, peachy color, as you could see. Okay, right there. And then next, I'm thinking actually, do I need to add a little more? I think I'm going to add a little more white and red here. Right there, just a little more white and a touch of red. I want it to be a little more pinker. There you go. Next, our third shade, and I could already tell you that I might add more white on here. right there. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's add a little more white, just white by itself. Right there, just white. And then next, just blue and white. There you go. And then our final color, I'm going to take a little bit of this. This will be our darkest color right here. It'll be like grayish blue color. Right there. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more white here. Just the white. And since I already mixed the dark paint, I don't want to mix this with my lighter. So I'm just going to wipe it with a paper towel really quickly. And then here's the white. So right there, just a little more blue. And I think we will be ready to start adding paint on our canvas. There you go. You know, don't spend too much time trying to make these perfect, but here's a rough blend of these colors that we're going to add to the sky. And I'm going to add just titanium white right here on a corner. I'm going to be using that, so I'm just going to add it right here. And we'll be ready to add paint, okay? Let's do it. All right, so now let's pick up our water jar and dab our fluffy brush halfway like this. And then squeeze some of it out, not all of it. Okay, like this. There you go. And now let's pick up some of the first color, which is this one. It's going to be very runny. But take all the paint here and let's start. The horizon line is going to be almost at the middle, so let's just start putting it like a little lower than the middle, just across. Just across all the way like this. Take all of it. Okay. Just make a little easy, straight right across like this. And now I'm dabbing my brush every time I pick up a new color shade. I just dab the tip, just the tip of water like this, okay? And then we're going to pick up our second shade right here and just put it right in here. Okay, dab just a tip into the water, and let's pick up this shade, the third shade, and put it right in here, just the corners. And then same thing here. Right in here, like this, just the corners, really roughly. And now dab my brush in the water. And remember this blue? Let's pick up this blue and put it right in the middle, right here. Just take this blue and put it like this. Dab my brush in the water and pick up the rest of this blue. Put it right in the middle, like this. Okay, dab my brush in the water, and I'm going to pick up some of this other color right here and add it right in here. Okay, and then our darkest color, I'm going to dab my brush in the water, just the tip, and pick up this dark color right here. Put it right in the corner, right here. I know it might be dark, but bear with me. We're going to blend everything nicely. Take a little bit of that and just add it right here, just a little bit. Okay, just a little bit. Dab my brush. Pick up this blue. I'm going to cover a little bit here. And roughly blend it in. Don't spend too much time on blending. That's just our background color. Okay, I'm going to put my brush down, and now I have my other brush, the second one. Like I said, if you have that one brush, then you just clean it out in the water jar and use a paper towel to dry it out. And it'll be a little damp, but that's fine. But to save time, I have this. And I'm going to just roughly blend everything in, starting from the bottom, and the brush is dry, so, and I'm really I'm kind of like dabbing it and swirling it, and lightly, not hard. Okay, I'm not trying to pick up the paint and pull it off. I'm lightly and gently pressing and swirling. I'm barely even pressing, actually. I'm mostly swirling and dabbing the paint, dabbing it and pushing it up very gently. Okay, very, very gently. And do it in a rough way. You don't need to blend it too perfectly, because this is our first background and we're going to add some clouds. And so just, you could see I'm very, gentle and trying to blend it real quick. Don't focus on making it too perfect, unless you want to. Totally up to you. But here we are. I'm not going to try to bring the darker paint from the sky down. I'm going to try pulling everything up, okay? And if some of the hairs start to, fall a little bit, that's natural. That happens to every brush. Do not try to pick it out while the paint is wet. Just leave it on there. Focus on blending so that paint won't dry. Because once the paint is dry, it'll be hard to blend. But if you wait till the paint is dry and then take out, just gently take out the hairs from the canvas, it actually comes out very easily. So that's why I wouldn't focus too much on trying to take the paint out or the hairs out. Very quickly. And if it starts to dry a little, you can always dab a little bit of the tip of your brush, just the tip. Have your brush into the water, just the tip, so it could be a little damp, and just finish off. There you go. So I clean my brush out the paint, and this is the paper towel, and I lightly swirl the brush into the paper towel like this, very gently. And now my brush is damp, right? And then it's perfectly fine to just use it as it is, and just blend in some of the areas that you want a little more blend in with the damp brush. Okay, while you wait till your first coat is drying, you can wash your brushes and clean out your water jar, you know, and get a new one. And that's, or you can use a hair blow dryer and dry it out real quick, and we'll continue. Okay, now that the background is dry and I got a new water jar cleaned up and my brushes are clean, we can add more layers now to the sky. So I've got titanium white, and I added a little bit of red. And remember this color here, this third shade that we mixed here. I'm going to take some of this, just mix it in with the red. It'll give me like a hot pink color, as you could see. Okay, and that's it. And now we're gonna take our number 4 Artist Loft brush. I'm gonna dab it in the water all the way, and I'm going to make sure it's nice and damp. So, right there. And let's start with our lightest color, which is the white, just pure white. And I'm gonna just try to get some paint on there and add the white right in the middle right here. And just randomly kind of spread it out. So I'm going to dab my brush in the water again, just water and white, and create faraway clouds. Just gonna add the white more in here. Oh, remember, I totally forgot. Remember that some of the, like I said, the brush, the hair will, if it falls out. Now that it's dry, there's a few in here. It just naturally comes out right there. There's one right there. I just lightly scraped it off. There's one right here, right there, and you just take it out. It doesn't damage anything. One right there, and it comes out. There you go. It's nice and clean, very easy when your background is dry. So, yes, now we continue doing the same thing. Just add the white. Those are far away, glowy clouds. That's what they are. Okay, we will continue. Actually, now I'm going to switch over. This I think will be easier. This is a number 8. Dab it, doing the same thing, dab it in the water, make it damp, and take the white, and let's continue. I want to make a nice glowy transition. And randomly spread it out, blend it in. You can see I'm randomly adding it, but then fading the edges out, okay? There, nice and easy. I know you might not be able to tell what I'm doing yet, but bear with me. And now we're gonna dab my brush in the water again, and let's add this, remember this reddish, pinkish that we mixed just now? And let's add some clouds over here. Just some fluffy ones. dab my brush in the water again so it can run smooth. And just fade it out. Do the same thing on this side. Just add a little bit. I'm going to clean my brush. Just dab it in the water. And remember this orange color that we have here? Just take this orange color and add it. Mix it in a little bit with pink. It blends in nicely with the water and a little bit of this orange. It really does a nice job of, blending everything in nicely. Okay, I'm going to add a little more on here. Make it a little rough. I'm trying to make it look a little soft and rough at the same time. Okay, doing the same thing, I'm going to dab my brush in the water, take this orangey color and just along here. Lightly blend it in with this pink. And take some more of this pink. Okay. There you go. Clean my brush out real quick. And let's take this orange, continue using it, and I want to add some right here on the bottom, just a little bit, and maybe some here as well. Okay, I'm going to take more of this pink. I think I'm going to add it and make this a little darker and more sharper. Okay, there you go. And now I'm going to continue using the white. So I'm going to clean my brush and just the white. I'm going to add some fluffy clouds and create some of the white clouds going in like in here like this. And just with water, and white. And I'm going to go up to probably this high and blend everything in. I want this white to glow in here. And you can add it anywhere you want. Yours could be a little different than mine, okay? Just have fun with it. All right, continuing, just with white. And just blend some of these in so it could look smoother. Let's continue adding some white in here. So I'm going to dab my brush in the water, take more white, and just carry that white upwards like this and have it fade out. Okay, moving on. Dab my brush in the water again so it can run smoothly. Pick up more titanium white. And just with water, blend everything in. And I'm swirling and pressing a little bit, just using the water and a little bit of white, okay? Okay, moving on. This is our first few bases of the clouds, so just bear with me. Water and white, continuing. And let's add some fluffy ones right in here, some bright fluffy ones. Maybe some in here as well. And just fade it out. Okay, moving on, just with white. Gonna add a few brighter ones in here. Randomly adding them. And blend it in nicely. Let them naturally happen, these clouds. Okay. So just white, and fill in some of these areas right here in the middle. So I want this area to be pretty bright. So I'm going to add a little more white in here. Just white. Okay, I'm going to quickly dry this out. All right, moving on, just with the white. And let's fill in some of these areas a little more with just the white. We want these clouds to be very bright. So I'm going over some of these and filling in just the white. No water. Okay. Going to add that white red in here. I want this area to glow as well. And fade it out. There you go. And then I'm going to clean my brush just with the water here. And then I'm going to take some more of this orange. Just some more of this orange. And I want to add it. Maybe mix it in with this pink. I want to make this stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to, and maybe even connect with this one here. Just like this. Okay. Okay. All right, next I'm going to use this pink again. And my brush is damp. And I'm going to add a few lines underneath these clouds. Just follow the patterns of the clouds and fade it out. Maybe add some in here as well. Just this pink. And continue with water and white. and add your fluffy clouds. Wherever you want them to be. And this is totally up to you how much clouds you want to add and how much time you want to spend on the sky. You can always come back to that part later. Once you start adding more details, you can always come back to the sky later if you want. Sometimes it's good to just keep on moving on, like keep moving on and adding the rest of the details, and then you'll step back and see, oh wow, I could actually quickly add this part here or this part there, you know. And sometimes it's better to just move on and then add more details later to it. So totally up to you, but you can take a lot of time blending with water and white and creating your clouds, you know, as fluffy as you want them, anywhere you want them to be. Add some in here. Okay. Alright, so now a few more details on the sky. This yellow here, it's just white and yellow. I ran out of it. It's the same thing if you have it. But if it's not, just put yellow and white and mix it real quick. And just water in this yellow. And we're going to just add it on a few of these clouds here. It's going to be kind of bright, but that's okay. We're just going to add it on a few of these. Just quickly, randomly add it on some of these. And roughly, I'm going to clean my brush now. And just with water, I'm going to blend those in with the white and everything. Just blend it roughly, like this. Swirl it and press and blend it all in. Just with the water. So just dab your brush in the water a bit. And blend this yellow in. Some are gonna glow a little more than the others, but that's what we want. Right there, nice and easy. So I'm gonna add a few more right here up in the sky, roughly. Okay. And a few more in here, just on this side. Just dab my brush in the water, and this yellow. Just randomly add it. And I think I'm going to add it a little bit in here. And that's it, and just fade it out. There you go, just blend it in. To have that glow. It gives a nice glow effect, as you could see. Okay, so now I decided to add a little bit of more dark on the edges of some of these clouds real quick. So I'm going to take the remainder of this, mix it in with a touch of black, and just take a little bit of this blue. I want it to be pretty dark. Right there. That's better. Now I'm going to take my Artist Loft number 8 brush and dab my brush in the water. And just take some of this color and add it right on top of this cloud, right in here. And we'll fade it out, let it fade out. Okay. So do the same thing on this side. Take this gray, add it right in this corner. There you go. So now I'm going to clean my brush just in the water. Use a paper towel to dry it out, and my brush is still damp. I'm just going to swirl gently using the corner of my brush and blend in gently, not pressing too hard, trying to blend in, let it blend in with my background colors nicely. Okay, same thing here. There you go. That should do it. And a few more spots just with this blue, maybe mix it in a little bit with this gray. I'm going to add it right in here, this corner. I'm going to try to make it a little bit darker. Just this corner, maybe this corner as well. There you go. And I'm going to clean my brush out again and gently carry it out and blend everything. Just with the water. There you go. That should do it. All right, let's move on. We can always come back to the sky later, but let's continue. I've got black and just red, and then blue, a little bit of red, and a little bit of white. Let's mix this first. And, you know, it doesn't have to look exactly like mine, but just, you know, this darker blue, kind of purpley color right here. I'm going to add the ocean soon, and then just black and red. And I think I'm going to add some white, and so I'm just going to take some white because I don't want it to be too dark, but very dark. So just a touch of white. I'm going to take a little bit of that, half of that. And it's going to be like a dark gray. Right there. That's good enough. So now we're going to create some mountains, just a few little mountains and hills. We're going to take our 1/2 inch flat brush, dab it in the water to make it damp. And let's start with this dark shade here. And let's create our first little mountain right in. So we're going to have like a little reflection, and I want to leave some of this yellow here. So I'm going to start from right in here, okay? I'm going to start from right in here, and I'm going to just create a little hill going up, like a little mountain. And you could have fun. You can create yours in any shape you want. but I'm gonna go about right in here and then let it come down like this. So about right in here, and draw a straight line and just fill in this area. Okay, I know it looks a little bit confusing, but bear with me. I'm gonna get to the nice fun part. So just cover it with that dark shade. Color it in, and I'm gonna draw a few more little ones next to it. So maybe like a little one, like little rocks next to it, like this. Okay, and then maybe here as well. So now I'm gonna continue, and I'll draw a few more like this, and I think I'm gonna draw one starting right in here, one little one like okay, and then I'm gonna continue, let this one kind of attach, and then I'm gonna draw a few more little hills, but I'm gonna go up here like this and create like a little hill like that, and then just gonna go up all the way up in here and then let it go down in there like this. And this is gonna go straight like this, around like that. I'm gonna fill that in real quick. So I'm gonna use my Artist Loft brush, number 4, and fill in this real fast, just nice and easy, dark color. These are our little mountains in the ocean. I don't know if you've ever been to like Cannon Beach or the Oregon coast, but I live about 5 hours away from there, and it's amazing. We go there with our families often, and I love these little hills there, little mountains. So I'm gonna draw a few trees, and with this Artist Loft brush, I'm gonna just far away, just dab, dab some, make it look fluffy. Make this one a little bigger, like this. There you go. I think I'm going to add a few little ones far, far away, like this. There you go. That's good enough. Okay, there you go. And now I'm going to draw, using my 1/2 inch brush, I'm going to draw a straight line, my horizon line. So I'm going to clean my brush out and take this blue and just blue in water, and I'm going to try to draw it out as straight as I can across. So I'm going to start from here. Okay, right about like that. Okay, as best as you can. And then I'm going to continue. And I'm going to quickly use the Artist Loft brush right here. And remember this orange here? Let's just take this orange. Let's just take all of it. Just put it right in here. Okay. Maybe take this red as pink as well. Whatever you have left. Just put it right in here. Because I want that reflection. Maybe some of this yellow. Okay, now clean my brush and add a little bit of white because it's like a reflection from the sky onto the water. So I want this to be bright still, this bottom part right here. Maybe mix it in with the white, just like this, very rough, very nice and rough. And then take some of this blue and add it right in here. Blend it in, there you go. So we'll quickly come back to the flat brush and let's continue with this blue. And going to add some waves, far away waves. Okay, now I'm going to take this black, because this is pretty dark. Try to draw this as straight as I can. Just the black. Okay. And then here, I'm going to use the black and the reflection, remember from this, I'm going to just add a reflection. And just fade it out like this. Okay, that'll be the reflection from this mountain here, hill, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm going to make a reflection out of this one right in here, but it's going to be a very small one. There. Okay. Take my Artist Loft brush real quick and softly blend those in just with water. There you go, really easy and fast. Now I'm going to take my flat brush again, just a few more details, and just with this blue right here, I'm going to create a few highlights. Okay, now that it's dry, now I'm going to take my artist loft number 4 and take this yellow, and I want to create this glow here. I want to create this nice glow because the light is hitting this area very brightly. So I'm going to try to create this yellow glow. Right along this. And then I'm going to take white, and the white just the white and water. Clean it out real quick, and just a little bit of this yellow and water, and I want to make a little glow happening on some of these hills. Just on the edge of this hill, so it can look 3D right there, because the light is hitting it, you know. You want this to stand out. Okay. Maybe draw a little bit in here and then fade it out. Okay, moving on. Next, I have black, white, and red right here, and then just black and red. So really quick, mix that in. It's going to be very dark. It's almost going to be just gray with a hint of red in it, but it's just going to be a darker gray, as you could see. Okay, and now let's mix our darkest, just black and red. And first things first, we're gonna take our 1/2 inch brush and then this dark color right here, and I'm going to quickly draw in my outline where the sand will be, right? Just follow your where you left off. Just like that. That'll be the ocean, the lake, okay? So I'm gonna quickly maybe take this gray now, right underneath. Dab my brush in the water, take this gray, we'll make the sand dark. And the reason why is because it's sunset and we want the fire to stand out. And if we make the sand too bright, the fire won't stand out as much. So let's try to make our fire stand out. Okay, now I'm going to fill in everything real fast. So let's take this gray and just fill it in. This is our base coat. Okay, our base coat here randomly. Dab my brush in the water. Take more of this. And we're gonna just cover everything, just cover everything. Take the black, mix it in, you know, spread it evenly. So I'm gonna take the black, add the black in here. Gray. And the black. Just take the whole black, darkest color, and just cover the canvas. Just cover your canvas. There you go. Nice and easy, and you can use your blending brush, the one that you have available, and just dab it, and don't carry the paint up, just right underneath where you left off. Just dab it and kind of blend it in, swirl it and blend it in very quickly. This is just our base, so don't focus too much on trying to make it perfect. Just roughly blend it in, take away the brush strokes, and we'll move on to adding more details. There you go. Very nice and fast. There. I'm going to quickly dry this out. Okay, now we're going to add a few details. So let's take a little bit of this yellow, dab it in the water. And remember this glow, I want to make it glow a little bit, so I'm going to add some red in here. So just the yellow right in here like this. And create some shadows. Make this super bright in here. Just water and yellow. And now here I'm randomly, as I get closer, I'm randomly adding like little, like almost like little circular waves or something. Because it's the sand, so we want to make it kind of rough. But I'm using water, so it's not going to be too bright, you know what I mean? So just make sure you just do your little waves, but you have water in it. So I'm dabbing my brush in the water using this yellow, and randomly adding my little waves. And then some could be, as you get closer, they'll be a little bigger. Okay, moving on. Okay, really roughly. There you go. Okay, our fire pit is going to be right about here. But first, let's add some logs, okay? So we're going to create a gray, lighter gray. So I have white and a little bit of black. Let's mix that in. Just a little bit lighter gray. And we're gonna but put yellow and red straight out of the tube and blue. I'll show you. Right there. So yellow, red, and blue, just straight out of the tube. Just put it right there next to each other. And let's take our 1/2 inch brush and let's just draw out our log. So our log is going to be right about here. So we'll end right here, and it's going to go up a bit like this and fade it out like this. So from here, so I'm just adding that log in there, and I'm going to add a little bit of yellow and white. Just add it randomly. Okay. So I'm gonna clean my brush. Now add the black. Remember this dark color right here? Let's add it right on the bottom. Going the opposite now. Really roughly, whatever that means. Okay, now my artist lock brush, number 2, and just with clean water in the brush, just the water in the brush, just blend those in. Just blend it in. Doesn't have to be perfect, okay? So I'm going to take some of this black actually and add it on the bottom here, so it won't be bottom where the sand is. Okay, and with the detail brush, the black, you swirl it and then you just outline it just around the edges. The brush in water and pick up more black and you can also, add a little more details onto your log, shadows and things like that. Totally up to you. Okay. Like that. There you go. Going to actually draw a little branch sticking out from this log, like this, for fun. clean my brush. And with the water and black, outline your branch, connect them. Okay, very fast. Okay, we're going to come back to it in a bit, but let's continue and add more little fire logs right in here. So let's just add a log right in here, and you know how they are. They're kind of diamond shaped. Okay, and then one right in here. This one's on the bottom. And I'm going to take the red and the yellow. Okay, roughly put that in there. And then the black, just straight black. Randomly colored in. Use my Artist Loft brush number 2 to blend those in. Okay. And now with the detail brush, I'm going to outline. First, let's outline with this light gray color. Light gray. Okay, dab my brush in the water. And just take the yellow. Let's add the yellow right in here. You know how wood is. And the glow from the wood, from the fire, because the fire is going to be here. Okay. Use my Artist Loft brush to kind of dab it and blend those in. I think I'm going to add one more. But let's make it darker gray. There. It's like a pile in there in the corner. You can almost almost see them. It's not very bright. Let's add some white. Just white right here. Oops, I'm going to clean my brush. 1/2 inch brush. And use just the white. Okay, just the white. Maybe actually mix it in with the yellow. White and yellow. I'm going to clean my brush. Use a little bit of the red and yellow. And I'm just messing around, trying to have fun with this, see what happens. So I'm going to quickly blend these in so it won't be too bright. We're going to come back to those in a bit. And with the detail brush and the black, now we can go back and outline our logs that are going to be thrown in the fire. So I'm going to dab my brush in water and take some of this black. There you go. Very, very abstract. Add a little bit of black in here. All right. We're going to come back to that later. Moving on. Using my Artist Loft brush, I'm going to use this lighter gray here. And I'm going to create some highlights in my sand. Okay, and this is where our fire will be, so right here in the middle. But I'm just going to create a few little highlights. Okay, let's draw our fire finally, and then we'll add more details. Okay, so now let's use this light gray, and let's draw our logs. So first one's going to be right in here. Okay, it's going to be kind of bumpy. And then we'll have one in here, one in here. So I'm going to use the black, just black. Put the black right on my firewood. Okay. And now, this is the fun part. I'm going to take my Artist Loft brush and let's start with this orange. It just makes it ourselves. Just mix it yourself. Yellow and a touch of red and white. Just mix it yourself because it doesn't have to be exactly like mine. Okay? Just add your fire like this. Okay, this is fun. Just white. And this is our base coat on the fire, so we'll add more, you know, highlights and things to it. But add like little waves maybe. But it, again, you know, have fun. Make sure it doesn't have to be the same color as mine, okay? Just have fun. Okay, so I'm gonna dab and put some in here, and maybe right behind this rock, like this. All right. Now, I'm gonna clean my brush and use this red and yellow, maybe a little bit of white. Okay. Actually, I'm messing around right now because the fire colors, they're going to be bright because I'm using primary colors. So, you know, that's why it's just, you just kind of mix your own shades and create your own colors with these three: white, yellow, and red. And there's no right or wrong on this part. So add the red underneath. So maybe take more of this red. And then kind of blend it in with your yellow, just on some of them, okay, on some of them. Okay, and you can, you know, carry this red out a little bit. Onto the sand. It's kind of like a glow from the fire. So I'm going to clean my brush now. And take some of this yellow, just with water, and let's add it a little bit onto the sand as well. Maybe blend some of these in. Very nice and fast. Okay. All right, moving on. Moving on, we will clean our brush. And then with the white, just white, gonna add it on some of this area right here. Just the white. gonna quickly dry this out and we're gonna add a little more detail. Okay, now we're gonna have some white here, but I'm gonna take this yellow and a little bit of red with white, mix it in. It'll give us this light orange, right? So I'm gonna take my detail brush and I'm gonna play with this color for a bit and add some details to our fire. So I'm gonna swirl it, and I wanna make some of these fires kind of swirly, you know, a little bit more interesting that way. Okay, just add the details in. Make some of these like little dots in here, you know, from the fire. But I want to make this area a little bit swirly. So I'm going to dab my brush in the water, take this orangey color, and add it right in here. So I'm going to take the white now, just the white, with the water, and I'm going to outline, go over some of these logs that are in the fire. Okay, just with white and water. Dab my brush in water. Add some white in here, connect it, blend it in with the because we want it to stand out and glow our fire. So that's why I'm adding the white. Alright, now I'm going to add the white, mix it in with this orange a little bit. I want it a little brighter. And I'm gonna add little flames. Maybe add some red. Dab my brush in the water a bit and continue this flame going up. I want this to be the highest. Okay, just with the red and water. Okay, it's looking better. Maybe add some yellow in here, in this log, just straight yellow. With white. I'm just using water to clean this area. Sometimes that helps with the artist fluff brush. All right, now I'm gonna take yellow, just yellow and water, and I'm going to add the yellow just the yellow around first, maybe even dab some in here. You know, I want to make it very bright, my fire. So okay, now I'm going to clean my brush out and use the white to make it even more brighter on some of the areas. And for a few more details on the fire, I'm just going to use straight out of the tube black and my detail brush, and I'm just going to outline some of these rocks, or I mean not rocks, logs that are in the fire. Just going to outline some of them, make them a little bit more, you know, I want them to stand out a bit more. Okay, so just black. Want this to stand out, so I'm gonna add the black in here. And now, since we have this glow going on, I'm gonna add a little bit of this yellow and orange. Maybe take some of the red, make it more darker orange, and go outline some of these logs here. Because of the reflection of the fire, you know, we want to make it a little more glowy. Same thing here. Maybe even and then the flat brush, maybe take a little bit of the white and yellow, you know, just to create that nice glow from this fire. Okay, and then with the Artist Loft brush, just blend those in very simply. Sometimes my mind is so focused on the details that I say random words like that. Bear with me, please. Okay, all right. And now I'm going to use the black, and I'm going to create some shadows in my sand just with the black. Just go over some of them and add the shadows. Okay. Take a little bit of the gray. Maybe with a detail brush, you know, you can go over with the white, maybe mix it in with the orange a little bit, and go over some of these. Totally up to you. Dab my brush in the water and add a few more details on my sand. That's much better. Starting to stand out a little more. These little highlights and details are really, really nice to add. And that's the thing, you can come back, you know, you got your main sketch down, and then you can come back and detail them at your own pace. It doesn't need to stay wet. That's what I like about acrylics. I actually prefer that it is dry because you can add more and more details to it. But, you know, totally up to you. So just a few more and we'll call it good. And maybe you can add a couple birds in the sky, little ones. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for tuning in and being here. Please let me know what you thought about it and if this was helpful. Down below in the comments, be sure to like and subscribe if this was. And again, you can spend more time detailing anything you want, having fun with this. But here it is, a campfire at the beach. And I hope you enjoyed this. Please stay tuned for next week's tutorial. Take care and God bless.